What's going on, guys? ShadowNinja here. Today I want to make a video talking about the recent patch, Treyarch has implemented into the meta of Black Ops Cold War in general. We're going to be specifically talking about the multiplayer aspect of this game, seeing if, Treyarch made steps to improve. And first and foremost, we must give credit to Treyarch. They're doing a lot to try to improve the balance of the game, and while I'm very frustrated with the current state of the game, I gotta give it to Treyarch. They are making steps, improve the overall feeling of this game in terms of the weapon balance, things like that. While there are other issues they can't really patch, and we have to wait till the future, these things I actually do appreciate. Now, whether or not these are actually effective, we'll talk about at the end of the video, but first, let's get over what they adjusted and changed and buffed, nerfed, etc. Now, when it comes to weapons in the assault rifle category, specifically the FAMAS or the FFR1, they increased the recoil, slightly reduced the max damage by 3.5%, so it went from 28 to 27, and reduced the max damage range by 34%, so 38 meters was the previous max range, now it is 25. Now submachine guns, they're the submachine gun alpha or the MP5, I don't know why they didn't consistently stick with these names, but whatever, we'll get over it. Now, in regards to what they've done, this is something I covered before, but they've reduced the base effective damage range by 33%, from 15.24 meters to 10.16 meters. They also added more character to the initial recoil by tweaking several bullet trajectories. While this doesn't affect vertical horizontal control stats in gunsmiths, this change makes it more difficult to stay on target by adjusting trajectories of several bullets in the initial firing experience. And they also update that this has all been reverted in this update, so whatever change that you're reading here, it went back to what it is when the game launched. It's a little weird thing, I don't know how it happened, but it is what it is now. In regards to tactical rifles, this is something that's been absolutely devastating. This is even more broken in some cases than the MP5, but the burst weapons, and specifically the M16, they reduced the max damage range by 15%, so it went from 25.4 meters to 21.59 meters. They increased the sprint to fire time, slightly slowed move speed while firing, slightly increased delay between bursts, rebalanced fire rate bonuses on barrel attachments, slightly reduced effectiveness of laser attachments. Now the TAC rifle Charlie, I believe this is the AUG specifically, they reduced the max damage range by 20%, so this went from 38.1 meters to 30.48 meters. They increased the sprint to fire time, slightly slowed the move speed while firing, slightly increased delay between bursts, rebalanced fire rate bonuses on barrel attachments, slightly reduced effectiveness of laser attachments. Now the Type 63, they slightly increased the fire rate, this is a buff, and rebalanced the fire rate bonuses on barrel attachments. DMN 14, this is also a buff to the semi-autos, slightly increased fire rate, rebalanced fire rate bonuses on barrel attachments. Now light machine guns, this is a weird thing, I do think light machine guns have been pretty powerful. They've also been banned in competitive, we'll make a video talking about it later in the future, but when it comes to the M60, they improved the max damage ranges and improved movement speeds. Now they didn't give nothing specific, but then again they just buffed these, which I think is great. Now sniper rifles, this is pretty much a nerf, and I'm for, but again this is not the nerfs I would want. But getting on to what it is, they adjusted to sprint to fire times to account for early blend interruption allowed via animation system. The effective sprint to fire time is notably shorter than what is displayed in the gunsmith. We have plans to address the gunsmith readout in future update. They have adjusted the movement speed impact while firing to intended values to make each shot feel more powerful. Fine-tuned barrel attachments that have improved idle sway to provide a unique feel on each gun. Now pistols, the Magnum got improved fire rate, improved max damage range, improved visibility when firing the first shot. Shotguns, the second shotgun, I think this is the Spaz. I'm not exactly sure. Shotgun Bravo. They slightly reduced the damage ranges from 15.8 to 7.7 meters. And that's pretty much all we have on the weapons. Now we're going to scroll down and go to the score streaks, because then again, this is also something I unexpectedly didn't think they were going to change. So the combat bow, they reduced the ammo from 5 to 4. The care package, they increased the cost from 1,800 to 2,000. Sentry turret went from 2,000 to 1,800. Napalm strike went from 2,100 to 25,000. This is an increase. They reduced the cost of the air patrol from 32,000 to 2,700. Artillery saw an increase from 2,500 to 3,000. Cruise missiles saw an increased cost from 2,600 to 1,500. This is 2,600 to 3,500. That's substantial. War machine also increased cost from 3,500 to 4,000. The attack helicopter, they have increased the cost from 4,000 to 4,500. Increased the damage from 50 to 75 per bullet. Increased the health from 4,500 to 5,000. Decreased the duration of the screen shake from bullet impacts. Thank God. Reduce the amount of time the helicopter will stay in one place before relocating. Now the VTOL Escort has a reduced cost from 8,500 to 8,000. increase the turret burst length to reduce cooldown, and the chopper gunner increase cost from 6,000 to 6,500, reduce the movement on the gun when firing. Now these in general are some substantial nerfs, buffs, etc. that, you know, I'm very surprised they've done. I didn't think something this big would happen before season 1. I thought we'll get more stuff like this season 1, but it does make me optimistic to see what they do in regards to season 1 patch, seeing how things work. Now again, there's nothing to, you know, talk about how they're fixing leveling systems, things like that. I'm a little disappointed by that. We'll talk about that in another video in the future, so definitely be sure to subscribe for those type of videos. But in general, I've hopped into Black Ops Cold War to check out these patch notes, seeing if they made a dent into the overall meta. And the short, simple answer is no, they didn't. I'm fairly disappointed by this. I think Treyarch is, again, making right steps to adjust and try to correct the issues with their balancing. Obviously, this whole year, we're going to be getting a lot of balancing in patches, more than probably we would expect, because, again, this game has been reduced production cycle by 1 year, even less than that. In most cases, they have almost less than 2 years to work on this game, so it's a little substantial. But in general, I will admit I'm liking that they're taking steps, but these are small steps, if that. A lot of these weapons are still very powerful. Now, the only one I felt like I was also using that felt like it was definitely got nerfed a good bit was the assault rifle, the FAMAS or the FFAR-1. This gun definitely has some tweaks to it that, you know, are impressive, that do tweak it. You need more attachments, things like that. I really wish I could fully give you guys the rundown of this weapon, seeing if it is that effective, you know, post nerf, but I don't have all the attachments, and leveling up this gun or guns in this game takes longer than a pregnancy. So yeah, that's definitely something I'm a little annoyed by. But in overall, you know, seeing what people were using, things like that, obviously people were going back to the MP5, but again, I even think the MP5 before, you know, this revert, accidental revert, was still very powerful. You know, tactical rifles like the AUG and the M16 were still going hard in the kill feed. Sniper rifles, again, I don't want anything nerfed with sniper rifles except for the fact of their flinch. Now, my main problem with sniper rifles, and I think this is the only nerf they should be getting, is the flinch. They have a high power scope, high power damage weapon. They can, in most cases, definitely kill you in one shot. So even if I put bullets down them and hit them, it just takes one shot to kill me. And in most cases, that's how I lose to sniper fights. I shoot them first. I'm about to kill them, but again, they have that one shot kill and they have no flinch, and they can get off an accurate shot without anything happening. And that's pretty much frustrating to me. That's my biggest problem with snipers right now, the flinch. So again, if they patch things or nerf things in regards to snipers, if I don't see them nerfing the flinch, I don't think it's going to be effective enough. But yeah, again, I was going through this. The gun weapon balance changes, again, they're not really too substantial. I don't think they're going to be... This isn't the update yet. I feel like Treyarch is a little bit nervous to go a little bit further with some of these. They're going to try to take incremental steps, which for me, I don't like. I wish it was more, but that's just my opinion. Some people might appreciate these incremental steps and getting to a fine point. At the end of the day, more patches, they'll probably... Even if they did harsher things, I don't think they'll immediately get to the right path. Maybe they went too far and had to revert a little bit. But again, things like that. Score streaks, this is a little bit of a weird one. I think score streaks in general are just very frustrating. I don't like this system at all. I'm not a fan of, you know, not dying and resetting. I like the pressure of rewarding people that, you know, play the objective and get kills. Again, I'm not totally against score streaks. I think they've done a fine job balancing out with TDM, which is surprising. But again, I feel like there's too much kill streak spam, even though there's increases costs and changes to the score streak system in general. So again, in all, this update, again, it's important to mention again that they're taking steps to improve, but it's a little bit too little, in my opinion, to anything, you know, change the meta for the better. Again, they're taking steps towards that, but don't expect walking in with this update to see a massive change in the overall meta. We're gonna have to wait till season 1, hopefully, to get a substantial patch with some of these weapon balances, score streak balancing, things like that. But in all, again, credit where it's due. Treyarch has taken more steps than Infinity Ward did at the launch of their game in terms of patching the weapon balance in general. With that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative, definitely drop this video a like. It'd be greatly appreciated. And for more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War videos, things I mentioned earlier in the video as well, different type of videos, definitely hit that subscribe button. We have a lot of things to talk about, a lot of weapons to review, a lot of things in general to go over about this game. Some positive, some negative, but again, we'll all keep it as neutral as possible. With that being said, hope you guys enjoy this one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.